I'm Victoria Dell, sitting down with Miss Chilli from What Chilli Wants. And how are you today?
I'm good.
It's good to have you here. So tell us, is there going to be another season of What Chilli Wants? Because you haven't found it just yet. Or have you? Well, then.
I don't know if there's going to be a season 3. I don't know. But I am happy with, season 1 and 2. Very happy, actually. I hope that I have inspired, a ton of women to, know that they deserve absolutely the best, and it's okay to voice that, and no matter what anybody has to say, you do. Especially when you're bringing great things to the table as well.
And so people think that's being really picky. They're like, Chilli's too picky. Like, she's not going to find that. But you do believe what you require is what you require, and you'll find it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like I tell people all the time. I mean, I'm not asking for the things that I can't bring to the table. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not like I'm saying, I want this, I want that, I need this, I need that, and I'm slacking, So I feel like if I exist, then that person exists.
Okay.
And man, be very specific. man, penis man.
So he's got to be out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
He's out there. Well, do you think from season 1 to season 2 and a possible 3rd season, what have your standards changed at all, or not at all?
No, they haven't. I mean, the thing that people don't understand about me is that I experienced a lot, even, as a teenager, in my 20s, in relationships, and I learned my lesson. Okay. Sometimes I did repeat myself, and I learned. If I didn't learn after the first mistake, I learned after the second and third. So by the time I did this show, I was pretty clear, on the things that I want, just how I am as a person, you know what I mean? Because I'm very comfortable with myself. And I'm okay with not having a man in my life. Like, I'm just not the type. First of all, I'm not a serial dater or a serial monogamous. Okay. Like, I'm not that at all. I mean, girl, it's been long.
Counting the days.
Since I've had a boyfriend, okay. You know what I mean? So I've been on dates or whatever and kind of like people, but it's just, you just know, once you've experienced things, you know when it's completely right for you.
So you've had that feeling, that it feeling before?
I was mistaken.
You thought that was the it?
No, I did. At one point in my life, I thought, I was like, okay, this is it. But obviously I didn't think it was it all the time because I didn't marry that person. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was still something that's just like, don't do that. You know what I mean? And I did listen to that voice.
Well, could you ever just date someone from down the street, like average Joe? Could you ever just date that person? Or, I mean, that might be really hard for you. Would you consider that settling?
No, I don't. Okay, when I think of average guy, it doesn't mean it's somebody that's not in the business. A guy in the business can be average to me. It's just the way he thinks, the way he carries himself. And it's just, that's average. I don't like that at all. So when if you're asking me would I date someone that is, what you mean, like a 9 to 5 or something like that?
Yeah, that's UPS, what you're saying? A UPS truck driver. Is that for you?
No.
Not for you? And why not?
Well,
what if he has something to offer and you just
I'm sure
don't
he has
know?
a lot to offer. He's a wonderful man. He is, and God love him. We love and bless him. But I'm just saying, it is very difficult, I feel, and I've seen myself, not with my own experience and other people, that when a woman has her own, I don't care what level it is, you have your own, you don't need a man to support you. You don't need a man you should never need a man to validate you. That's like crazy. But I'll just say to support you, it's hard, when you want to go on a vacation. You know what I mean? And you got to pay for it. Like, who, huh? All the time? Like, but this is good company, and he rubs your feet. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's tough. And I think for a man that's a man's man, that he has a problem with that.
So we've seen you equally yoked with a certain someone on your show, and he's a man's man, Mr. Floyd Mayweather. And so let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, sometimes he looks like he's in it, and then sometimes it looks like he's out of it. How does it make you feel like you're not sure and you know your quality? So why wouldn't he want you? Why wouldn't he want to take
Well, we're not
this?
equally yoked.
And why not?
Well, because in the areas that count the most when you're talking about being in a relationship, a serious relationship with somebody, you know, you have to be on the same page when it comes to a lot of things. You know, I'm never ever the celebrity that writes songs and kiss and tell, and not that I've kissed him like that. I'm just saying, like, I just don't talk about, I don't put people's stuff out like that. But I'll just say that Floyd and I are truly friends. You know what I mean? And we can both say that we're true friends because we've never slept together. I didn't play those games. You know what I'm saying? And when he and I became friends, I told him up front, because I didn't want no problems. I'm very outspoken, and I get to the point, you know what I mean? Right. So I was like, we're friends. We're not the sleeping friends. Like, I'm not going to sleep with anybody until I'm in a committed relationship with them. You straight? He's like, yeah. And he never tried anything. He was so respectful. That made me, like, love him. I was like, oh, he's great. You know what I mean? Because we weren't like that. And I think Floyd has a ton of great qualities. But when it comes to what I need, you know, from a man as a woman, and in order for me to follow the good book when it says the man is supposed to lead and I'm supposed to submit, ooh.
That's going to take a lot.
That's hard.
A mission
But what I'm saying is I can do that I gotta be comfortable with how he's following God. You know what I mean? And until that happens, I'm not following.
When you meet him, how long do you think you'll wait until you introduce your son to this man?
I think it's just something you know. You know what I mean? I don't think you can put a time limit on it or anything like that. I just think you just know. You know, and then it's not like the first introduction would be, this is my boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, this is my friend. And then we build to that, if it gets to that. You know, I don't display any type of affection, nothing like that, you know, in front of my son, because that's not appropriate.
Do you think a lot of women kind of drop the ball?
Yes. And men too. I mean, I have male friends that, this one guy I know, every girl that he would get, he was like, she was with he and his son on the weekends. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? And I had to try to help him understand, like, the type of picture that he was painting for his boy, you know, which is not a good one. So, yeah, I think most people do that, and it's just not a good thing.
So let's talk about Tiana. You all have gone back and forth on the show, and come to find out, you know, you met her prior to doing the show. What's you all's real relationship like?
A working relationship. Yeah.
Meaning you all don't kick it after.
I don't think that's a surprise. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Tiana and I, like, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that, you know, there's a gap between us, but our just mentality is just totally different, you know, and I understand and respect who she is as a young woman, and hopefully she does the same with me, but, you know, everybody you work with, it doesn't mean that you're great friends with like that, you know?
And you've been an open book about who you're dating, and, like, as far as race.
Oh, yeah.
She's kind of come at you like, oh, you really want to date him? How do you feel? Are you going to always be an open book, or are you just...
But I've always dated outside of my race. You know, I feel it's nothing wrong with having a preference. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that you should look down on someone or close the door on some great guy just because, you know, he's of another race. God made us all. You know, you want to call yourself a Christian, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, you know? Mm-hmm. So, obviously, black men are her preference, you know what I mean? And a lot of times I feel black women can look weird, make those funny looks because they feel that white men aren't attracted to them. And how would you know if you never open yourself up to it? You know, if you're walking around and you're only looking for the brother, you know what I'm saying? Because the brothers they look at everybody and they date whomever they want, as they should. There's nothing wrong with that, but so should black women too.
for Black women out there, what are some of your strongest words of encouragement you can give them in the relationship department?
Be open. Just like I said on my show, like, just don't put yourself in a box. I just think that's a horrible thing to do to yourself. Just be open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sitting with us and talking.
Thank you.
Our fans at Madame Noir love you and your show. So
Thank you.
Thank you again. Nice meeting you.
Good to see you.